Last few seconds. Whenever you are ready, bring your awareness to the body consciousness. Feel the body. And gently release your hands. Place them on your eyes for 5 seconds. Slowly, with a beautiful smile on your face and with a sense of gratitude to the meditation, please open your eyes. Good morning, friends. I hope you enjoyed the meditation. Welcome to another beautiful Sunday. We made it as a Sunday, we made it as Wisdom Sunday. So Pyramid Meditation Foundation UK organizing these sessions every week. And today we have, like every other week, we have a special guest, Pradeep Anirudh. I'll just give a bit of introduction about Pradeep. Pradeep he was introduced to meditation in the year 2003 through his younger brother. We all know him, Prabodh Achyuta. We had sessions with him. He's called as Gudakesha. Now he's known as Gudakesha. So he's doing a lot of Gudakesha sessions. So he learned meditation from Prabodh. He used to work for an MNC in the USA in a senior role. When he was working, he had 20 different certifications. In his signature, he used to have a lot of signatures. I mean, a lot of certified things. So I used to, during those days in 2007, 2008, when I joined this meditation in PSSM, there used to be a group called Paima. So in the emails, I used to see. Then I used to wonder who is this person. Then I understood he's Paima president. Then he was Paima president. In 2003-4 itself, he was, he was in a senior role. He left his highly paid job to seek the truth and to realize self. Since then, he's been associated with Pyramid Spiritual Society's movement from the last 20 years, 19-20 years, continuously taking the science of meditation to scores of youngsters. He conducted many classes, workshops, and influenced more than 1 million people, and influenced the youth of India through his meditation workshops. For me, he's an embodiment of wisdom. Whenever I need some suggestions or anything, I just go to him, I ask him, like, this is what it is happening. How do I look at it in terms of spirituality? He traveled extensively around 15 different states in India for teaching meditation. He left his job completely and he's fully into spreading meditation since last 19, 20 years. And when we started these online sessions in 2012-13 in UK, these meditation sessions, then we used to do through Skype and different this like Zoom applications. Pradeep used to share a lot of wisdom, and also the last couple of years ago during COVID, he also did a lot of sessions. So now, after a long time, we are having sessions with him. Pradeep is heading now PMC English. He's a PMC English channel head and currently looking after all the PMC English. Please join me welcoming Pradeep. Pradeep, stage is all yours now.
Thank you, Ravi. Thank you so much. Ravi, what is the time we have? It's a 1 hour session?
Yeah, I mean, it is 1 hour, but yeah, it can go beyond 1 hour also. Yeah. 1 hour is good enough. 1 hour up to 2 hours is also okay.
Oh, okay. Yeah. Got that. So it depends on how the subject goes and how the people will take. And my dear friends, thank you. I'm Pradeep Anirudh, as Ravi has introduced so well. I'm so happy to be back with all the meditators and masters of United Kingdom. It is such joy and pleasure to be with all of you today. And my dear friends, today we're going to speak about emotions and handling of emotions. I would first like to define what is an emotion. Anybody would like to speak or message their definition of emotion? What is an emotion? And then we'll start from there to go deeper into that.
Energy in motion.
Energy in motion. Wow. Wonderful. Thank you. Yes, emotion is nothing but E plus motion. Energy in motion is emotion. And it is a mental state. Yes, it is one of the states that which we are. It's a mental state. Yeah. Anyone else? The two aspects of us being a human, we are called as human beings for a reason. There is human indicates the form, and being indicates the formlessness nature of us. So the form and the formlessness both constitute the human being. The form is the external form, which is tangible, which we can see, and that which we cannot see, we still exist in that realm also. So the thoughts and feelings and emotions, yes. Emotion is nothing but, it is a state that we are in at any particular moment. We are transmitting a signature into this world. See, as you sign, every person has a different signature. Shilpa has a different signature. Vinod has a different signature. Praveen has a different signature. Satish has a different signature whenever they sign. But my dear friends, whenever you sign on a paper, that is not just your signature. Every moment, every second, you are transmitting your signature. You're transmitting your energy signature. That is your emotional state. So we have a unique signature every moment. We radiate a unique signature that happens through our emotions. In which state of emotion you are, so that is the energy signature that you are transmitting to the universe, and the universe will give back the relevant realities based on the kind of signature you are transmitting to the universe. It will give back the relevant ideas. It will give back the relevant people. It will give back the relevant opportunities. It will give back everything based on the energy signature that you're transmitting. And my dear friends, you are transmitting that energy signature 24/7, even if you are aware or not aware. And that is happening through your emotions. Emotions, as the first answer has come, one of the beautiful definition of emotion is E plus motion, that is energy in motion. And what is the difference between emotion and feeling? Lot of theorists have proposed different meanings or different ways of differentiating a feeling and an emotion. But what I subscribe to is, when you identify an emotion, it becomes a feeling. So the identified emotion, you're already having an emotional state. You are already having a flow of energy inside you, whether you recognize it or whether you do not recognize it, whether you're aware or not aware, whether you have observed it or not observed it, you are in a certain energy state. You're radiating certain energy signature. But when you are aware of what kind of energy is flowing through you, is it the energy of anger? Is it the energy of joy? Is it the energy of hatred? So what is the kind of emotion that is flowing through you? Is it the energy of amusement? You have seen something beautiful, you're admiring it. Is it the energy of admiration or amusement or appreciation or adoration? Or you're feeling bored, you're feeling awkward, you're feeling anxious, or you may be feeling confused inside or calm inside. You saw something which you did not like and you felt the disgust. You felt fear, you felt horror, or you felt empathic to the other human being. You felt compassionate. So what is the kind of emotion that you are going through, you're feeling at that particular moment? If you're able to identify, then it becomes your feeling. If you're not able to identify, it is just an energy state. Your body is going through it. Your body and being is going through that. It is just an emotion. It's just a flow of energy inside you. So that is the difference between a feeling and an emotion. And how is it related to your thought? I want to give you an open question for which I want you to, I'm not going to give you all the answers here. I'm also going to raise some questions where I want you to think and come to conclusions by your own inquiry. Is thoughts the source of emotion, or is an emotion the source of thoughts? Are you getting your thoughts from the emotion that you're experiencing? Or are your emotions being decided by the thoughts that you're making? What is the source of emotions, and what is thoughts the source of emotion, or is emotions the source of the thoughts? I want you to inquire into yourself at this particular point of time in this class, or at this particular point of time in your life. What is the source of emotions? And what is the impact of the environment on your thoughts and emotions? What is the source of the thoughts? And what is the source of emotions? Just think. What is impacting your emotion at any point of time? The leaders, the successful leaders, or your bosses, your partners. Are you happy with your partner? Are you happy with your boss? Are you happy with your peers? What kind of emotions you're feeling towards your partner or towards your boss, towards your co-employees, towards your neighbors? What kind of emotions are they creating inside you? And what kind of emotions are you generating in yourself towards them? Who is deciding that? Is it being decided by the others? Or is it being decided by you? How much mastery you have in deciding your emotions? Are you a function of others? Is your emotional state a function of others? Is it fully dependent on others? Or are you able to manage your emotions? What is happening? What is your emotional quotient? These days, getting a job, getting evaluated for a job is not just a function of the expertise in the relevant subject. It is also the emotional quotient and emotional intelligence, expertise that is expected out of a job aspirant, correct? So these days it is not just IQ, yes. People are also looking for EQ. EQ has become very important everywhere suddenly. Of course, there will be a time in the future where not just EQ, but SQ will also become important. The spiritual quotient will also become important. Spiritual intelligence will also become important. But today, we're going to focus on the emotional intelligence aspect of a human being. So if you have raised these questions, if you have asked these questions to yourself, then we will be ready to go into our next topic of the session, how to handle emotions. In order to handle emotions, you need to have certain intelligence. So that intelligence is called as emotional intelligence. So we'll go into emotional intelligence now. Before that, I would like to have a look at the chat messages. Emotions are the source of thoughts. Emotions, thought is the source of emotions. Arushi is saying thought is the source of emotions. Sri is saying, a few people, Sandeep and Swati are telling emotion is the source of thoughts. Okay, thought which affects physically. Okay, emotions come from the past experiences. Thoughts arise from emotions, but the cycle goes on unless we become aware and try a method to come out of it. Okay, cool. That's yeah, that's a good endeavor of coming up and thinking. This shows that yes, you have started inquiring into yourself. That's very good. We will also touch upon the subject what Miraji has told. And my dear friends, let us go into emotional intelligence now. In 1995, Daniel Goleman has released a book called as Emotional Intelligence, in which he has mentioned about 4 quadrants of emotional intelligence, which has become very standard way of evaluating one's own emotional intelligence. So the 4 quadrants of emotional intelligence are broadly divided into 2 categories. One is social competence and personal competence. So every person has some competence, and if he is able to handle his own emotions, then it is called as personal competence. And if he is able to handle and know and be aware of others' emotions, then it is called as social competence. Every man or woman after birth, everyone is self-centered. nature has made us aware to take care of our own needs. See, we feel hunger, so we want to eat food. So this is a certain awareness that is built into the ecosystem of the human being, into the physical ecosystem of the human being. And then the child, when they develop themselves from an infant to a child, or child to a young person, so usually they are self-aware and also self-centered. But are they fully aware of their own emotions? That is the point here. Are you aware of your own emotions? The first quadrant tells about self-awareness. Your own awareness of your own emotions, that is the first quadrant of emotional intelligence. Or you on your own emotions. This is the first quadrant of emotional intelligence, where everyone has emotions, everyone gets angry. Okay, some of you may have overcome anger. That is wonderful. But what kind of emotion are you going through in the different situations that you face with your partner, or with your boss, with your employees? Is somebody able to trigger different emotions in you? Are you really aware of the emotions that you're going through every moment or every day or in different situations? If you're able to recognize your own emotions at every point, then you will understand the feelings that you're feeling at that moment. And you will also understand how your emotions is impacting you and how your emotions is impacting others. Because once we get angry, it is not just we who have to deal with our own emotion. It is also the social aspect. It is also your partner who has to deal with you being angry. It is also your employees who has to deal with you being angry. But are you aware of your own emotion and the impact of your emotion on others? So if you are aware of your own emotions, your own energy flow in your body, and the impact of those emotions on others, then you are self-aware. And sometimes, see, this anger is always inside you. Somebody just have to tell something and then that anger comes out. See, if that anger is not inside you, somebody else will not be able to trigger it inside you. No, sir, he is telling something, she is telling something, then only I will get angry. It is not like that. If it is not inside you, nobody else can trigger it. If it is inside you, anybody can trigger it. So it is that particular emotion that is being inside you. That emotion is inside you. So only they're able to trigger it. So you need to take that ownership and responsibility for those emotions which are coming inside you. What happens outside, you may not be able to control. I'm not telling you will not be able to control. I'm telling you may not be able to control based on your understanding of your reality, based on your understanding of the dynamics of reality creation. Okay. So you may not be able to understand, you may not be able to control what is happening outside, but you will definitely able to control how you respond to what is happening outside. Are you in that state of awareness of your own emotions? Then you have mastered the first quadrant of emotional intelligence, which is self-awareness. Meditation is also a journey where we keep going from outside to inside, where we keep knowing and being aware and becoming aware of what kind of emotions are inside, because those emotions which were suppressed inside due to various reasons, either in this lifetime or past lifetimes, they will keep coming out. They'll keep cropping out, and then you'll start becoming more aware. It is like you have some spaces in your house which are unused, which may be unused. Someday you need to clean up. If you have to use the house, you need to clean it up someday. Then they'll come out. So when you keep meditating, you'll start going deeper and deeper into your own self, and all these suppressed emotions, if present, will also come out, and then you will be able to develop a muscle to deal with it. Unless you become aware, you cannot deal with it. So the secret of handling an emotion is, when an emotion is coming to you, inside you, when that energy flow is there, which is not helpful or helpful, whichever it is, you just have to observe it. A lot of people does not observe. They will just get carried away by that emotion. Today morning, I was counseling a person, and they were telling that a person is crying. They are not able to handle their emotions. And they were in a state where they were prone to do some self-harm. So they sought some help. So when one is not able to handle their emotions, like she was also telling that, this girl was throwing the cups, throwing the objects in the room, and throwing the mobile. Why? Because she's not able to handle her emotion. The way to handle your emotion, the first step and the final step is being able to observe your emotion as a third person, not just get carried away by the energy of that emotion. You just have to observe, okay, I'm now getting angry. I got angry. I'm in anger. You should be able to, or you can choose to become aware of your own emotion. So the first quadrant is all about becoming aware of your own emotion when that emotion comes to you, and becoming aware of your own emotion. When you become aware, then more than half the story is done here. Usually people are not aware when they're emotional. Usually people are not aware when they're hating someone, when they're angry at someone, when they're jealous at someone, feeling jealous at someone. They're not fully aware. They're just get carried away by that emotion. See, all the crimes in the world, or most of the crimes in the world, are done at the flux of the moment. They become emotional, they get carried away, they do something, and then when they come back, they realize that, oh, I should not have done that. I was just carried away in that moment by that emotion. All these things happen because they are not having this emotional intelligence. They are not having this self-awareness. Meditation is a very good tool to develop this self-awareness. So this is the first quadrant. And in the second quadrant, it's called as self-management or self-mastery. As the first level is all about knowing your own emotions, being aware of your own emotions, and how others are affecting your emotions. Being aware, are you being triggered by the other person to get angry? So all this is first quadrant. The second quadrant is, the first quadrant is only being aware and knowing. The second quadrant is about managing your emotions. Now you're aware what kind of emotions you're getting and what kind of energy flow is happening in your body. But the second quadrant is all about regulating your emotions, managing your emotions, mastering your emotions. And you have decided that, I will behave in this fashion. I have certain value system. I have certain standards of life. I have certain perceptions of life. I want to do these things. I have some goals in life. I have some aims in life. I have some ambitions in life. I have some aspirations in life. I want to pursue certain good things. Now everyone wants to do something in life, but are you really doing it? Are you in an emotional state to do it? If your emotions are not in congruence to your goals, then you will not be able to do it. So if you're not having emotional intelligence, you cannot even pursue your goals. If you're not having emotional intelligence, you cannot be even friendly with others. If you're not having certain amount of emotional intelligence, you will not even follow a certain timetable. So you are moving away from your goals. You are moving away from your health. You have kept a target that, I want to exercise daily, but you're not doing it because you're not able to handle your emotions. You're not able to handle your energy. You're not able to handle your impulses. So the second quadrant is all about mastering your emotions, mastering your emotional state, mastering your energies in a way that you keep managing your emotion in congruence to the goals that you have kept for yourself, to the aims and ambitions and aspirations that you have kept for yourself. And when there is a change that happens, are you rigid to that change? Are you able to handle it flexibly? If you're able to handle it flexibly, now you're in the second quadrant. If you're not able to handle it, because there is a certain emotional resistance to the change. There's a change in the job. Are you able to handle it? There's a change in certain circumstances in the house, with your partner, with your family members. Are you able to handle the change easily and flexibly? What kind of emotions you are getting when you're going through that change in your life? Are you able to handle those emotions? Are you able to manage those emotions when there's a change in your life or in your job? You're working in a project, now you're moved to another project which you didn't like. Are you able to handle your emotions well and steer through that situation well? Are you able to keep your disruptive emotions in check? And how are you handling your obstacles? How are you able to handle your goals with perseverance? See, I'll tell you three concepts. Here, we'll take a simple goal, like doing meditation every day. Simple goal. Say, I want to do meditation every day. Right, good, very good. This is a goal. Now, if a person is not having this self-mastery, then he may not be able to do every day. Out of all these 42 people, how many are able to do meditation every day? That is one set of people. And out of these 42 people, how many want to do meditation every day and not doing every day? See, the first set of people is, I want to do meditation every day and they're doing it. Okay, then they are in the second quadrant. The second set of people is, I want to do meditation every day and I'm not doing it due to various reasons. Third set, due to some obvious good reasons. I want to do every day, but I'm not doing it because I have reason one, reason two. Good. Here, there will be obstacles doing it every day. Yeah. There might be some obstacles, but how are you able to cross those obstacles, overcome those obstacles and still persist in doing this meditation? See, the first one is consistency. Consistency is level one. Level one, you will have consistency. And then persistence is level two. Persistence is, see, in spite of obstacles, I'm able to do meditation. I want to do meditation every day at the same time. Morning 6 to 7, I want to do meditation. Yes, I want to do meditation. I'm doing it. But there's an obstacle that has come. I did not do. And then I did it. An obstacle comes, I did not do. This is not persistence. Persistence is being able to pursue the goal in spite of the obstacles that come in the way. That is persistence. And perseverance is, here the stickability is there, quittability is not there. Mark my points. It is about stickability and not quittability. Quittability in the face of obstacles is not persistence. Stickability in the face of obstacles is persistence. Now you keep going no matter what. You're determined to go. And then you kept on going in spite of your obstacles. That is your persistence. And now this persistence or your way of keep going in spite of obstacles in any area of your life, in any aspect of your life. That is perseverance. So here in the second quadrant, we build the muscle of consistency, persistence, perseverance. Okay, 3 levels. First level is, somebody wanted this to be repeated, Vaishnavi. Okay. First level is you're doing it consistently. Okay. You're able to do it consistently provided there are no obstacles. Wonderful. Second level is being able to do it consistently in spite of obstacles that may come in the way. In spite of obstacles that are actually coming in the way, still you're overcoming those obstacles and you have maintained your consistency. That is persistence. And third level, level 3 is being able to continue doing it in spite of the obstacles in any of the tasks that you have taken up. So that is persistence. Okay. So this is second level of emotional intelligence. So this is not just a theory that I wanted to share with you today. I wanted to generate a thought of inquiry inside your own being for your own level of emotional intelligence, what you're carrying every day. I want you to identify yourself at what level of emotional intelligence you are. Think, analyze, self-inquire. As I'm sharing this with these examples, just think inside what kind of behavior or what kind of attitude you have inside you. Just observe. And the third level of third quadrant in emotional intelligence is all about, third and fourth quadrants is all about social competence. The first 2 quadrants are all about personal competence. The third quadrant is social awareness. Here, as a human being is self-centered in the initial days of evolution or the initial years of evolution or the initial ages of evolution. See, most of the people that you see are self-centered, and then you would also have seen other set of people who are compassionate, who wants to help others. So these are the people who are aware of the emotions of others. They are not just aware about the emotions of themselves, but it is also about being aware of the emotions of others. I'm not telling about sacrifice, that you being the people who do sacrifice, if they are aware of their own emotions and the others' emotions, and then they're able to contribute, that is a wonderful thing. They're sacrificing their whatever. Okay, they're sacrificing their time. That's wonderful. But not being aware of their own emotions and being aware of others, there are some people who will get into that due to some childhood perceptions. Here I'm talking about you being aware of your own emotions and then you being aware of others' emotions now. Either it be your partner or co-employees or boss or whoever it might be, or parents. So are you able to relate with the emotions of others? Then you will have a relationship with other person. Otherwise, you will not have a relationship with other person. If you're talking to a group of people, you're on the stage. There is a word in Telugu that is called as Maika Surulu. Once a mic is given to a person, then they will not stop. They don't care whether the audience in the room are listening or not listening. They just keep on going because they got a mic. They got a mic, they have to speak. That's all. They are not aware whether the set of people in the room are interested to listen to them, not interested to listen to them. They don't bother. They just want to tell what they want to tell. And even in some conversations, say I have to speak to a lot of people, okay, in my profession. And then when I speak, there are some people who doesn't bother whether that point is needed by the other person or not. They just keep on doing blah, 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 blah. That's all. Because they want to make their point. They want to tell what they want to tell. These kind of people are not aware about the emotion of others. They are not aware that the other person is getting bored. Listening is the best way of healing. Yes, wonderful. The other person is, I'm listening to the other person when they are telling, but it is also, I'm not also helping them fully. When I keep listening to their bullshit, then I'm not also fully helping them. So just think what kind of people you have encountered in your life and what kind of person you are. Are you being aware of the other person's emotions? Are you being aware of the emotions in the room where you're talking or where you're being? Are you really caring what is happening with the other person? What is happening in the other person's mind and body and in the energy system of the other person, energy flow of the other person? Are you able to identify the emotion of the other person? Other person may be saying something by mouth, but are you actually listening to what the other person is saying? Are you listening to the perspective of that person, perception of that person, which they are not telling? They may be telling something, but it is not just the content. Are you listening to the commitment behind what they are saying? Are you listening to the emotion behind what they are saying? Are you able to really sense the other person's emotions? Are you able to sense the emotion of your partner? Are you able to sense the emotion of your family member? Are you able to sense the emotion of your boss? What does he need from you? What is the need behind the communication of that person? Communication is not just about the words that they say. Communication is also about the behavior that they do. Are you being aware? If you're being aware, then you have social awareness. If you're being aware of the communication, what other person is doing by not doing, by actually not speaking, if you're aware, then wonderful. Then it means that you have social awareness. Otherwise, no, we don't have social awareness. So this is the third quadrant of emotional intelligence. And a person who is having social awareness will only be able to do some service. If a person is doing some service, that means that he has certain amount of social awareness. He is able to identify the emotions of others to a certain extent. I'm not telling to the full extent. A person who is having social awareness will only be able to play the organization game or the big game. Otherwise, he'll be playing his small games. He'll be playing his individual games. He'll not become a team player. Unless he's socially aware, he cannot become a team player. Only a person who is socially aware can become a team player. Only a person with social awareness will have synchronicity to the organizational goals. Only a person with social awareness will be able to show empathy in communication with the clients, show empathy in communication with others. That is social awareness. And then we have the fourth quadrant. So although Daniel Goleman has given a different name, but I would like to name it as social mastery. Self-awareness, self-mastery, social awareness, and social mastery. See, these are the people who have mastered their emotions, who are aware of their own emotions, okay, who are aware of others' emotions, and they have a special ability to be able to induce positive emotions in the other person. They are able to influence others by their communication, by their emotional intelligence. So these are the people who can really provide leadership. They can actually make a team and make them aligned to a greater purpose. They can lead a team of people to a greater purpose. They can inspire others. They can influence others. They'll be able to help others. They will be able to help develop themselves. Not just themselves, but also others. They'll be able to build relationships, build bonds. They'll be able to inspire some teamwork. They'll be able to help co-create greater realities. So co-creation and collaboration is possible with these kind of people. Unless a person is having emotional intelligence, co-creation is not possible. Unless a person is having the fourth quadrant of emotional intelligence, co-creation is not possible with that person. Collaboration is not possible with that person. Otherwise, they'll get into conflicts. A person with fourth quadrant of emotional intelligence will be able to handle conflicts. They'll be able to manage conflicts. They'll be able to do conflict resolution. And they will also become a change catalyst, because every change will create obstacles in people's minds. People get used to a routine and they don't want to break it. So whenever there's a change, even if we have to bring it in an organization or a family, there will be resistance. And people at this fourth quadrant of emotional intelligence, they will be able to create or facilitate the minds of the people for change. They can make them ready. They can act as a change catalyst. They can inspire change. So they'll be able to influence, they'll be able to inspire others. So here, a person can become a leader. A person with fourth quadrant of emotional intelligence can become a leader. He is more sensitive. He'll be able to clearly express his ideas and involve people. He is sensitive to others' feelings. He is empathetic, and he can manage interactions very well and successful. Today, I was counseling a person from a very big college where one of their top directors, one of the top deans were sent away. All these students were connected to that dean. But the dean was sent away. And all the students most of the students have now gone for a strike, and they are asking back the dean. But the authorities who are over that person are not able to manage the students, because these people does not have enough emotional intelligence to be able to relate with students. But that dean clearly had an edge in emotional intelligence, in being able to relate with the students. So the students were still asking the same person. So that will be the difference one can have by having this kind of emotional intelligence. And my dear friends, I would like to conclude by saying the root of all emotions, there are two kinds of emotions. There may be any kind of emotions. There are, if you go on listing emotions, there are so many emotions that will come. And we have an emotional scale. Okay. We have something called as an emotional scale, where gratitude, joy, love. So these emotions, freedom, appreciation. So these are the emotions which will be highest in the emotional scale. These are called as elevated emotions. So everything you do, when you do in elevated emotions, then your power of manifestation will also become high. The possibility of manifesting what you intend, your power of intent will also become high when you are in elevated emotions. But when you are in emotions like boredom, pessimism, or frustration, or doubt, worry, blame, fear, disappointment, discouragement, anger, revenge, rage, hatred, jealousy. You're feeling guilt, unworthy, insecure, feeling fearful or worried, feeling powerless, feeling despair, disgust. See, all these emotions, when you're going through these emotions, your power of manifestation will also be less. Your power of intent will be very less. Because you're not in a right energy. When you're in a right energy, this is a very crucial principle to understand. Only when you're vibrating with elevated emotions will your manifestation power work. You may be thinking, why that is not happening what I'm thinking? Because you're not providing the right energy signature to the universe. In the energy signature that you're transmitting to the universe, if there is joy, if there is passion, if there is gratitude, if there is freedom, if there is love, then what you think will manifest. If there is despair, disgust, hopelessness, powerlessness, insecure feeling, fears, doubts, then it will not manifest. And out of all these emotions, what I have just uttered through my mouth, those many emotions I have uttered, there are two root emotions. Only two root emotions from which all these emotions emanate. One is fear. All the non-positive emotions that I have just told, like despair, disgust, fear, grief, powerlessness, insecurity, guilt, unworthiness, jealousy, hatred, rage, anger, revenge, blame, worry, doubt, disappointment, being overwhelmed, frustration, irritation, impatience, pessimism, boredom, all these non-positive emotions, the root of these emotions is fear. All the positive emotions like enthusiasm, I'm feeling a lot of eagerness, happiness, positive expectation, belief, optimism, hopefulness, contentment, joy, appreciation, freedom, love, gratitude, all these positive emotions, the root of all the positive emotions is love. I want all of you to note this. The root of all positive emotions is love. The root of all non-positive emotions is fear. So I'll give you a formula. If day is there, then night will not be there. Correct? If night is there, day will not be there. If light is there, darkness is not there. If darkness is there, light is not there. Both are mutually exclusive. The same way goes with the emotions. If you have a positive emotion and non-positive emotion cannot stay in your energy field. If you're having a non-positive emotion inside you, then the positive emotion can not stay. So better choose a positive emotion. How to choose? No, sir, I'm getting angry. You just be aware of the emotion that you're getting. If you're aware of the emotion, non-positive emotion or non-helpful emotion that you're going through, it is imperative. It is inside you. It is coming out. So don't bother. It is coming out. It's okay. Just be aware. The key is awareness, being aware. When you're being aware of your own emotions and emotional state or the energy that is flowing in your body, the emotion will lose the grip. That is the equation here. So these are the things that I wanted to share with all of you today. Thank you so much. Thank you. And the forum is open for questions now. Thank you, Ravi.
Thank you, Pradeep. Such a wonderful session. You've really, explained well about different quadrants of emotions. And the last point is really important, as in 10, 12 years ago when someone gifted me the book Ramana Maharshi. So one of the saying in that book was like, when you observe the mind disappears. So in the same way, like when you are aware of your emotions, that emotion will lose the grip. So that's amazing. Thank you. Friends, anyone has any questions or anything to share? Please do so. I'll wait a few seconds.
Before the next question, Meera has mentioned that emotions come from past experiences. So I just want to give a thought here, share a thought. Yes, Meera, you're very right. As if you do not get the intelligence, do not get the wisdom out of your past experiences in this lifetime or past experiences in your past lifetime, then there's a possibility that the same kind of experiences will get repeated. The people may be different, the situations may be different, but the kind of emotions that you may go through will be the same. I want all of you to very intently listen to what I'm saying here. In your life, there may be times you may have been going through different problems, different challenges. The people may have changed. The situation may have changed. The place may have changed. But the resulting emotion, what you're experiencing in your life, may have been the same. How many people agree to it? Just say, if you have experienced the same kind of emotion multiple times, then say yes. One person. Okay. Two. Yes. Correct. Wonderful. So there's a possibility that the same emotion keeps getting repeated. We usually see our life in terms of situations, in terms of the wisdom that we need to deal. So we grossify everything. We do not see at the level of the energy. But the energy is also trying to teach us something. It is not just the wisdom. Karma will be burnt by wisdom. The logs of karma will be burnt by the wisdom, by the fire of wisdom. Gnana Agni Dagda Karmana. Gnana Agni Dagda Karmana. Through the fire of wisdom, the logs of karma will be burnt. So the wisdom, we usually try to see, okay, what is the situation that I have faced in the past or in this current situation? What is the situation and what is the wisdom that I need to take out of that? We will keep seeing that. And we'll keep taking that gross wisdom, but at the subtle level also that wisdom has to get integrated. So when you develop this emotional intelligence muscle, then that wisdom will get integrated into you even at the subtle level. Unless you have certain emotional intelligence, your astral body organism will also not get fully developed. Astral body awareness will not fully get developed unless a person has developed their emotional intelligence muscle. So be aware that what kind of emotions are getting repeated in your life. What is that particular emotion which is getting repeated, although the situations, people or places may have changed, and learn this emotional intelligence lesson. Okay, Mridula Singh has told the same situation giving rise to entirely different unexpected emotions too. Wonderful. Just out of every situation, what is the wisdom that you need to take? If you take the wisdom, then there's every possibility that the same situation would not arise. If you have fully integrated that wisdom inside you, then it will not come. Can you give us an example or your experience how emotions disappear on realization? I see in spite of being aware and identifying the emotion, the effect is still there. Any example? I'm just thinking. And any other questions? You can still type it or you can unmute yourself and raise your hand and speak. And I would also like to hear a couple of people sharing their experience of this session as to what is one point that was very striking to them, what they have resonated with, and what did they get from this session. When you share, the learning will get integrated into everyone's mind and being at a greater level. Yeah, Sandeep Garu, go ahead.
Hi, Pradeep sir. Thank you very much for the wonderful session, sir. Sir, I have a small question about myself. You know, after your session, I understood there is a problem with me, or like I don't know how should I rectify the problem. When I watch some movies, or when I see some people talking, or when I watch something on the YouTube or something, any love or any sentimental scenes, if I come across, I'll feel very emotional. Sometimes I feel started tears in my eyes as well. So I observed a lot many times coming across all these things. So how to balance these kind of emotional feelings coming out of myself. Can you able to
got that Sandeep Garu. First thing, you being sensitive is very good. You being sensitive to the emotions of others, then you are at the third quadrant. So it is very wonderful. And it is just about balance may not be the right word for emotions, although it may seem very relevant. Balancing emotions seems very relevant. The word seems good and relevant, yet it is all about, the right word is being aware. So you're able to emotionally relate to the scene in that movie and you're feeling emotional. Okay, but are you aware of your emotions? Till the time you're aware of your own emotions, okay, I'm feeling sad, or I'm feeling grief based on the situation. Say if you watch Matru Deva Bhava, it's a movie in Telugu, okay, a lot of people feel sad by watching that, feel grief by watching that movie, okay. So till the time you're aware of your emotions, it's wonderful, it works well. That's all. You just have to be aware of your emotions. And how to handle your emotions, how to increase your emotional intelligence, just be aware of your emotions. That develops your personal competence, and then be aware of others' emotions. That develops your social competence. And this is not just one lifetime's work, my dear friends. Let me tell you, this is many lifetimes' work. And if you're able to get this in one lifetime, wonderful. It is not 1 hour class work also. It is a continuous work. Although we have understood the theory at such a simple and convenient time and less time, lot to do. Thank you, Sandeep ji. And
thank you, sir.
Yeah. Anything else you want to share or add? Yeah, those will take Sri Marni Garu.
Namaste, Pradeep sir. It's
Namaste.
always a pleasure listening to you. I still remember the Vivekananda topic you taught us when we started meditation in 2013, and it still resides in me. So it's an absolute pleasure to listen to you. And thank you once again for coming today. Again, mine is also a personal one, but something I'm going through, and I feel it's probably a right time that you have come to give this session. So you mentioned about, when you become a leader, you have to understand the emotions of the people you lead. So what's happened with me is I've been asked to lead, I got promoted, and then a few months ago, asked to lead another area, which has got 4 teams. But the people in that are quite difficult. And even though I can relate to the emotions of between themselves, they don't match. So if I understand one person, then trying to understand the other person, it's quite opposite what they want. And all this has created a mess for me, where I now doubt my own ability to lead in that area. So I don't know whether being able to relate to them again is making me quite attached to it, or should I now stay back, detached, and observe it? Again, I don't know whether I'm expressing it properly.
Yeah, I got what you're telling. because I also have faced such situations where we need to deal with difficult people.
Yeah.
Yeah. See, every person has a need, and it is not clear in their communication by words. There is some communication, hidden communication behind the words. There is some need for every human being, either it be to preserve their dignity or their respect. So look for what actually they are seeking. You need not demand a compliance immediately, but when you communicate with them, a simple word like I understand, try to communicate with them by saying I understand. Whatever you may be communicating with them, if they are difficult, they may not be actually complying, they may not be actually in compliance with what you say or what you need, what you want them to do, right? So try communicating with them by staying calm and actually listen to what they are trying to say by not saying, and don't judge them initially, because if you're able to do this, you're able to respect them in spite of however they may be, then they'll start listening to you. Okay. And that's a continuous communication and rapport building that has to happen.
Sure. Okay. Sure, sir. Yeah. No.
And sometimes if you giving this time and space for them, if you're the boss of them and they are still not being able to comply with your request, not doing it, then you need to escalate.
Yeah, it's
Yeah.
how long do I need to wait? That patience levels. But no, I get your point, sir. It's building that trust and empathy first, and then
Correct.
taking it from there. Okay.
While still allowing them to have their own dignity of communication. So you're trying to build that rapport and trust. So always, when I used to work in this company, so there was a new project manager who has come to our project. And this guy is a very senior guy. But we were already a team of almost 25 people in the project. So if a newcomer comes to a college, all these people, the old students will rag them, right? The freshers. The same way the project manager has to go through all the teams ragging for 2 months. So he was literally being ragged. Nobody was listening to them. But within 2 months, he also has gained enough respect. So the key is persistence here. He was still trying to coordinate because he is the bridge between top management and the team. He is the bridge between the client project manager and the team who is working offshore here. So he still has his own authority and power. So when he was doing efficiently his own job for that extended period of time, it almost took him 60 days to earn the trust of the team. And then the team started complying with them. And then in this process, he never disrespected any of the team members, and he never shown his angry face with any of the team member. So it really required a lot of emotional intelligence on his part to understand the emotions of the team. So the process of life is also trying to teach him or allowing him to build that emotional intelligence inside him. So I know he was getting frustrated because I was a very neutral person, but these are the other people who really wanted, who are not comfortable with this new project manager. And there are some team members who are more experienced than the project manager. But this guy became a project manager because, he has shifted companies and he has grown to the level of project manager easily because he was just jumping companies. And there are some people in my team who did not jump companies, who are still working as senior associates and did not become a project manager, who had more experience than the project manager, who were literally ragging him, who were literally being very uncooperative, not non-cooperative. Yeah. So he had to take his time, yet it was a test of his emotional intelligence and persistence. And then he passed it. Within 2 months, all the team was communicating to him and through him. So
That's great to know, sir. Yeah, I think I'm going through that phase of bragging, so I probably just have to build my own emotional intelligence then. Yeah.
so
No, thank you
yeah,
so much, sir. Thank you.
yeah, welcome. So just see what are the lessons that you need to learn.
Sure. Thank you.
Still be compassionate. Thank you.
True.
Yeah. Thanks for asking a very relevant and practical life question. Thank you.
Thank you, sir.
Yeah. Indira garu.
Namaste, Pradeep ji. Thank you very much for such a wonderful session. And it is actually very important for us to learn from these masters, and especially you, Pradeep ji. And emotion, such a wonderful topic, because we deal with it each and every day and every minute of life. So thank you very much. Gratitude to you and Ravi Kiran Garu as well, and all the team.
Thank you.
Yeah. You said what is the takeaway each one first stay taking. So you beautifully explained about emotional intelligence and 3 parts of it. First part is very easy. We all do that. Second part also is a bit difficult when it happens when we are working, that to stick with the time. Would you say like we can't stick with the time, but we do the meditation every day in different times? Is also good. That's my first question. And what I've take away is about your emotions are controlled by yourself and also others, and such a true thing, because when you think about, say, like, no, without anything, I keep thinking, or the thoughts come. And second thing is, like, when we think about other person, suddenly you just have a frame or a opinion, or the emotions come, and oh, she is wonderful, or she's such and such and all. So I would want to be aware of that emotions, and I want to be non-biased, or be with no opinion. That's my takeaway. Thank you very much.
Wonderful, madam. Wonderful. Beautiful. In between, did you ask any question in between?
Yes, I did. So
Can you repeat?
yeah, first thing is, when I am in the state where I react, immediately I am aware of that emotion, but it's still on that phase only. I'm thinking, like, no, it should be progressing, isn't it? So still, okay, you recognize and then you just pause it, but still there is an emotion there. So it should be like you. I was just wondering how you are like a part of Buddha, isn't it? Like, you leave your job, your life, everything, and just join what you believed. So kudos to you as well, Pradeep ji.
Thank you, Indira garu. And now that you mentioned about me, every sage or saint or a sinner, every sage and a sinner, every saint and a sinner will have the same amount of challenges. It is just that the difference is how they deal with them. That is the only difference. Everyone will have the same amount of challenges, because life will throw its own tantrums and challenges for you to learn and for you to evolve. The same for me, the same for you, the same for any saint in the Himalayas, the same for any politician. Okay. So it is the same, but how easily, how effectively you learn and how much you evolve may differ a little, right? That's one thing. And if you're feeling that emotion for a continued time, if you're being aware of that emotion, what is inside you, what has got generated inside you because of that person, if you're being aware, the emotion will lose its grip. As much you become aware, so much the grip will get loosened. Otherwise, the emotion will grip you. The emotion will grip you only when you are unaware of that emotion. If you are able to identify that emotion inside you, if you are able to identify that energy flow inside you, if you are feeling anger, if you are feeling rage, so are you able to, if you are able to identify and not just flowing with the emotion, if you are able to identify that emotion, if you are able to become aware of that emotion, that moment, the grip of that emotion on you will get reduced. So that is the equation that will work. You may not be able to see it at that point of time because you may have that emotion inside you built up so much that you may not be able to identify in the initial time. But as time goes by, as you get triggered with that emotion, as you get triggered by that person and it is generating that emotion inside you, as you become aware and aware and aware and aware, then it will lose its grip. It will continue to lose its grip. It will reduce its grip. Say a person is tightly holding your hand, very tightly holding your hand. And he may be able to do it, but he did not choose to take away his grip immediately. He is doing it slowly, very slowly. Okay. But he's doing it. You need to know that as you become aware of your emotions, the grip is getting loosened. You be rest assured on this. That is one thing. And the initial question that you have asked about timing of the meditation. So if you want to do meditation at different times of the day, wonderful, not an issue. If you choose to do meditation like 1 hour or 2 hours every day, and you're able to do it not at the same time, but at different times of the day, wonderful. If provided if you have chosen to do like that. But if you have chosen to do 2 hours of meditation and not being able to do 2 hours of meditation at any time of the day, then you need to build that emotional intelligence, the second quadrant emotional intelligence. Either it can be 2 hours a day or 2 hours a day at the same time, or doing meditation or not, anything with your self-discipline. So that is all about personal competence. So once you build your emotional intelligence at the first quadrant and the second quadrant, then our alignment to our goals, our synchronicity to our aims and aspirations will be 100%. If it is not at 100%, that means we need to develop our emotional intelligence muscle in the first 2 quadrants. Okay, Indira Garu?
Thank you very much, Pradeep ji. Thank you very much. And we'd love to have you more time as well. Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you so much.
Yes, friends. Thank you. Such a lovely session. And I see some questions. Just how to hold a particular emotions for longer period, say abundance. Yeah, something good.
Abundance is not an emotion. Okay. So you can have joy. You can have gratitude. It's all about choosing to be in that emotion. First is choice. Okay. And feeling of love. So sometimes we take help of some objects, and based on that object or a process, then you can choose to experience that emotion, like keeping a gratitude journal. When you keep writing a gratitude journal and remember all the things that you feel gratitude for on that particular day, if you're writing a gratitude journal in the night before going to bed, so then you can feel what are all the people who have come to your life, or what are all the things that have happened in your life for which you can feel that gratitude. So while writing that gratitude journal, you can get into gratitude. And if you love a person, then if you remember that person, you can feel love. And joy, as you develop your emotional intelligence muscle, and as you keep doing meditation, as you remove all your layers, then you will be able to experience joy. you'll be able to experience freedom, because you're no more bound by the worldly attachments. As you keep realizing that you're not just a physical body, but you're that eternal soul, which is in this physical body, which has chosen to be in this physical body, yet it has a choice to take any physical body, and it has taken so many physical bodies, it has a choice to take further physical bodies also. Then you will feel that freedom. When you are in synchronous to your soul nature, when you realize your soul nature, when that self-realization happens, then you'll feel that freedom inside and outside. When you know that, experientially, you will be able to experience that Brahmananda. Even Prabodji, my brother, so he has experienced that Brahmananda, the highest joy or the bliss state, and he can get it willfully. So it is just by an intention. Just by an intention, he can get into a Brahmananda state. Only an intention only a thought is enough to him. Otherwise, sometimes you can take help of a process, you can take help of an external source or an external inspiration to get into those set of positive emotions, what you want to experience. So it all happens by your choice and an inspiration or an intention. Thank you. Madhuram Garu? Is it Madhuram from Germany? Hey, hi.
Hi.
Hello.
Hi. Hi, Pradeep Garu. Wonderful. It's lovely always hearing to your wisdom sharing sessions, your experiences. The depth and dynamics of emotions, so beautifully shared. I just came across that this session is happening a minute ago live. The live session went on. So very happy that I could spend these moments hearing your wisdom sharing. So very grateful to Ravi and team and to you bringing this beautiful energy here. And as I learned a new word today, Maikasur. So
yeah, that's cool.
And emotions, it really means a lot in experiencing and understanding how to express them. So my personal experience was also that meditation had truly helped me to witness my emotions, and then also to understand how to rightly express them. I also experienced that my initial understanding was anger was an unnecessary emotion, but then later in my journey, I realized when rightly expressed, anger can also be so harmonious. So every emotion is important, and understanding exactly how well that can be expressed, So thanks a lot, Pradeep Garu, and wonderful to be here and hearing you. Thank you.
Thank you, Ram Garu, for so wonderfully sharing what you have shared. It's beautiful. Thank you so much. Every emotion is important. Yeah. Every emotion gives us a good learning. Every emotion, when mastered, will give us a beautiful evolution. Emotional intelligence is also a way to our enlightenment. Unless we develop this muscle of emotional intelligence, we will not become restful. If this emotional intelligence is not there, is not integrated into our being, then there will be restlessness inside. There will be restlessness about ourselves. There will be restlessness about others. So if this emotional intelligence muscle is fully developed, then this restlessness about ourselves or the restlessness about our partner or others will become restful. Only when we become restful, then our journey will be towards our own enlightenment. So this is also, emotional intelligence is also a definite milestone in the journey towards our own enlightenment. And thank you, Ram Garu, for adding those beautiful statements. Thank you.
Thank you.
Yeah.
Thank you, Ramesh. So friends, anybody has anything to share? I see a lot of comments here. Yeah, thank you, comments. Thank you, Pradeep. We definitely would wish to have more and more sessions as everyone is commenting in the chat. We would like to hear more from you.
Thank you, Ravi, so much for organizing these sessions. Lot of gratitude to you for giving me this opportunity to be with these wonderful people. Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you, everyone. As every day, if someone wants to share something, yeah, okay, no. So as you know, I told in the beginning, every Sunday and also very soon we are going to start on Saturday as well, a book reading club. So every Saturday there is going to be a book reading session. So masters will be presenting and different books highly recommended by Patriji. So those books will be shared. The knowledge on those books will be shared every Saturday. So in the future. So and also every morning and evening there are sessions happening organized by PMF UK. And also all these sessions are recorded on PMC UK channel. And also we have other PMC channels, as I said in the past, PMC English, PMC Valley, PMC Global. So there's so many channels and there are a lot of wisdom over there. So subscribe to all these channels, right? So every time we listen to the same, even if the same concept, same topic, so there's a new learning. For me, definitely there is a new learning in every, even if I hear multiple times. And even if you hear the same topic again and again, let's say today's topic shared by Pradeep, so going to the YouTube and listening multiple times, you may have a different understanding, different learning every time you hear. So I would request subscribe to all these channels. And thank you, and a lot of gratitude to Pradeep, and also immense gratitude to our Grandmaster Brahmarshi Pitama Patriji, to has created so many such great masters in Pyramid Spiritual Societies movement. So a lot of gratitude to Patriji, and thank you, Pradeep. Thank you so much.
Thank you, Ravi. Thank you, everyone. Thank you so much. Thank you. Bye. Bye, guys.
Bye, everyone. Signing off.